Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I've been doing for a while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, and folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I'm only reviewing this right now because I forgot that I had it in my car for a little while. Like, not a long time, mind you, like a couple days. And I was literally just going through because I was reviewing a couple other things. And I saw this and I was like, oh, yeah, okay, I'll review that now, I guess. Might as well. But we'll get to that. Folks, it is a super simple format. I'm going to, eat and drink stuff. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to yammer on about it. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside the truck. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means that I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. That is not the case today. I bought this particular product probably like maybe 3 weeks ago, something like that. And like I said, it was in my fridge for a little bit and I was like, I'll just put it out in the truck. That way I'll remember to review it. Whoopsie doodle. But at the time I'm doing this, we're like firmly in fall. So it's like, been about 40 degrees. So I think it should be okay. But anyway, what is it? Yes, boom! It is ODYSSEY Sparkling Mushroom Elixir. Energy plus Vogus. And apparently, it is Blackberry Lemon Twist flavor. From Lion's Mane's Cordyceps. 6 grams of net carbs. 355 milliliters. 2750 milligrams of mushrooms. Yeah! I like mushrooms. I don't know about drinking mushrooms, but I like mushrooms. It says, free your mind. ODYSSEY Sparkling Elixirs are crafted to increase energy, cognitive edge, focus, uplift, blah, 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 blah. Personal power to do good. Sure. It's got nootropics, enhance mental performance, active beta glycans, support immunity, adaptogens, relieve stress, elevate mood. Yeah, okay. So it's one of these energy things that's like boop-a-doop-a-doo. I got this from Whole Foods. So there you go. But anyway, let's give it a shot because I've never had a mushroom-based energy drink. But I do really like mushrooms. How much remains to be seen? There's things that I like about this, and there's things I don't like about this. The blackberry smell is good, and I can smell the lemony aspect. But I can also smell like a very floral kind of thing behind it, so... Whoa! That's a whole lot of things. That was like a fucking roller coaster of flavors for my tongue. It was one of those things. It's like there were ups, there were downs, there were parts where I didn't know if I was going sideways or what, man. Ooh, okay. I don't know if I like this or not yet. Okay. Little less funky that time. I think I was a little bit more prepared for it, right? It's like, go on a roller coaster the first time, you're throwing around, you're like, boo, boo, boo. You've done it a couple times, and you're like, all right, you know how to brace yourself. Thankfully, not quite as weird as I was thinking it might be. Still a little weird, but it reminds me of like an artisanal ginger ale, is what I'm going to go with. Because it has like these like really strong sort of floral-esque flavors. And then it has like this hit of like, and I'm guessing it's more, the lemon kind of citrus and everything, but it almost hits like kind of a hit of ginger. It's really interesting, and I think I like it. I think I like it. I'll say this to get it out of the way. I don't really taste a lot in the way of mushroom. There might be a little bit of an earthiness to it. Maybe that's kind of it. But the blackberry, and like the lemon flavors are so strong that like you don't get any of that sort of Moorishness that most mushrooms kind of have. So if you're worried about a mushroom flavor, I don't think you need to be particularly concerned. It's more the blackberry and the lemon sort of built on top of whatever flavors, mushroomy core that it might have. Apparently has 85 milligrams of caffeine, which isn't very much. 1,500 grams or 1,500 milligrams of lion's mane and 1,250 of cordyceps. Yeah, honestly, I kind of like this. Like the first flavor, man, the first hit was really something to behold. But as I sort of, was able to brace for it and everything, I was like, okay, yeah, I see what they're doing with this. And what they're doing with it, I actually don't dislike. Like, it seems a little weird. It's a mushroom elixir. It sounds like something you should get in a Final Fantasy game. But fundamentally, it's like, okay, I think that they're just, they just went over there and were like, all right, what if we made an energy drink and we had some mushrooms in it? Okay. But they didn't go over there. They weren't like trying to make a mushroom drink. They were just using that as a base for whatever reason. And mind you, when it comes to any of the stuff that they talk about, like focus and immunity, I don't know. I like mushrooms to eat just because I like mushrooms to eat, not because I think they're going to give me magical fucking powers. I'm not saying that this will or won't, but please do your own research, because I got nothing on that. I'll just tell you how it tastes, and then you can work out the rest of that stuff. But yeah, I actually like the flavor of this. The blackberry flavor is nice, and it's very identifiable as blackberry. It doesn't just come off as like a blueberry, basically. And then the lemon is nice. It tastes almost kind of like a hit of ginger than like just a straight citrus hit, and it really carries through. It's a nice, strong flavor. I would say probably the strongest flavor out of everything is that hit of lemon. But it's not like sour or anything like that. It's, just gives you a nice little tanginess, kind of ties in with the blackberry flavor. There's no like weird flavors to go off of, really. Like there's definitely a base flavor that's at play, but I think that, like I said before, the more fruity aspects are playing the bigger role here. And ultimately, yeah, I'm honestly down with this. It's a little odd, but it's odd within levels that I personally am willing to go with. And that's, yeah, man, I'm down with. Now, all that said, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm going to go with yes and kinda. I could see getting this again. It would not be a go-to thing for me, but it's something that, because not only do I enjoy it, but it's a little bit unusual, and it's unique. And that is something where it's like, yeah, okay, I like unique stuff. And fundamentally, I like all the flavors that are at play. I like the blackberry with the lemon. I think that's a nice combination. And I appreciate, like, again, there is like a little bit of an earthiness kind of thing to it. I can personally dig it. I think it works well for my palate. Now that said, is it going to work for everybody's palate? Fuck no. I could see a lot of people just being like, even though I don't think it's crazy weird or anything, I could see it being too weird for some people, for sure. This is one of those things where it's like, if you're the type of person where you see it and immediately you recoil, don't. There's no reason to. There's plenty of other stuff out there that I think would work better for you. This is one of those things where you're definitely going to kind of love it or hate it. And I think if you already have the inclination you're going to hate it, you probably are. Now, it's not to say maybe don't try it anyway, Give it a go. You might enjoy it. I think it's personally an interesting and actually pretty tasty drink, especially for an energy drink. But, by that same token, it's nothing that you have to see as a personal challenge to overcome, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Spectacular rest of the week. Monumental rest of the month. Stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there. Have yourselves a truly mushroom-tastic rest of your life. And I know some people are, Brandon, I don't like mushrooms. That's fine. Pick another freaking, mushrooms are a fungus. They're not, a vegetable as such. But I don't know, pick some favorite food that you like. Have a Cheeto-tastic for the rest of your life if you like Cheetos. I like Cheetos. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity in your world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole, especially when you've been in your car for about an hour now and you don't have the heat on, because you don't necessarily need the heat. You know, you're a very well-insulated individual. But even being well-insulated, you know, you're out in your car, it's like 50 fucking degrees out. You start getting a little cold. Not cold. I could be out here for a good long while, but, you know, core body temperature and such. It is important, though, when we run into situations in our life that are stressful, frustrating, etc., take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there. Maybe you're going to go, maybe you're going to be like, Brandon, I don't like mushrooms. Mushrooms are bad, blah, 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 blah. And you hit me up in the comments. I'll be like, well, when was the last time you had a mushroom? Seriously, when was the last time you had a mushroom? You're like, well, okay, it's been a while since I've had a mushroom, but I didn't like it last time. I'll be like, well, you know what, maybe try it out. On top of that, there's lots of different types of mushrooms out there. People go over there and say, I don't like mushrooms. Like, there are so many mushrooms that have such different flavors from one another. I'm not saying you gotta like them. I'm just saying there's a cornucopia of potential fungi that you can eat, you know, if you're so inclined. Or if not, you can go over there and play game Chrono Cross, and you can play as the character of Fungi. And if you really hate mushrooms that much, you can just make sure that he dies in battle all the time, and then, you know, there you go. That'll be your revenge against mushrooms, I guess. Or conversely, just go play Chrono Cross. Chrono Cross kicks ass. I am one of the relatively few people in the world who personally feels that Cross is better than Trigger. As good as Chrono Trigger is, I personally think Cross is better. Even though I think both games are excellent. Watch me just lose all my subscribers right there.